Before you begin this tutorial, I assume you are using the latest version of Blender at the time of this recording, which is Blender 2.83. With Blender's latest changes, you can now reassign your mouse button. I recommend navigating to the Preferences, and in the Keymap menu, change the selection with mouse button to left. We will start by deleting everything that is in the viewport, that is the camera, cube and light. Navigate to the Engine tab, and change from EV to Cycles. Now we will add a shape. For this tutorial I will be using a cube. In your viewport menu, go to Add Mesh, and add a cube. Navigate to the Outliner window, and rename the current collection to Cubes. Create two more collections which we will name Plane and Preview. Switch to Edit mode by hitting Tab. Choose Face Select mode. Hit the A key to select all sides. Hit U and choose Unwrap in order for us to apply the material accurately later on. Switch back to Object mode by pressing the Tab key again. Create a new window just above your timeline window by clicking and dragging the corner. Change the editor type to Shade Editor. Tap New to add a new material. This action will automatically add a principled material to the cube. Drag this window down for now to create more space in the viewport. With the cube still selected, navigate to the Physics tab, and choose Rigid Body. Leave the type set to Active. Navigate back to the Outliner tab, and select the collection we named Plane. We will now add a plane to this collection by going to Add Mesh, and choosing Plane. We will now scale the plane up to create enough area for the cubes to fall on. Scale it up by pressing S on your keyboard and dragging outwards and clicking to confirm. Navigate to the Physics tab, and choose Rigid Body. This time change the type to Passive. Go back to the Cubes collection and select the cube. Press G, and then press Z to constrain the movement, and move it up to create space as we are going to be adding more cubes later on. Press play in the timeline window or spacebar to preview the animation. Reset the playhead to 0. Switch off the planes collection and select the cube in the Cubes collection. Navigate to the Modifiers tab, and choose Array. Adjust the X offset as you please, just make sure they are separated. Apply the modifier. Go to the Modifier tab menu and select Array for the second time. This will duplicate the current set of cubes. This time enter 0 for the X offset and adjust the Y offset by holding down your mouse within the Y section and shifting left or right to your liking. Increase the count for these shapes to add more sets on the same axis. Apply the modifier. Now go to the Modifier tab menu for the last time and choose Array. Enter 0 in the X offset and this time adjust the Z spacing by holding down your mouse within the Z section and shifting left or right to your liking. Increase the count as you wish. Apply the modifier. Press play to preview the animation. You will notice that the cubes are moving as one block and we need to change this. Reset the playhead to 0. Now, to separate the cubes we've just arrayed. Make sure you are in object mode. Hit A on the keyboard to select the cube block. Go into edit mode by pressing Tab on your keyboard. Then hit the P key and choose by loose parts. Press Tab again to switch back to object mode, and play the animation to see if the shapes are separated. You will notice that they are now separated but moving awkwardly. Reset your playhead to 0. While still in object mode, hit A again to select all the cubes. Right-click and choose Set Origin, then Origin to Center of Mass Surface. This will reassign the center of gravity for each object and will ultimately give us accurate physics. Play the animation to preview the result. You will see that the cubes now fall in a way that is true to physics. Go to the Outliner tab, and select the preview collection we made earlier. We will add our camera to this collection. Go to Add, and choose the camera. Move and zoom around in the viewport to create a view you prefer. Just make sure you frame the cubes when they are most spread out and have less movement. Select the camera you made within in the Outliner tab. Then press Ctrl-Alt-0. This will snap the camera to your current view. Adjust the camera to your liking by pressing G and panning around as you wish. In addition, you can constrain the camera movements with the X, Y, Z keys. Pressing R on the keyboard will allow you to rotate the camera. If you want to move in and out of the camera view, press 0. For the next step, make sure you stay in camera view. Now we want to apply our final material which we want to show in the final scene. We are going to simply add an image material to the principled material we made in the first stage. Change your viewport shading to Material Preview. Go to the Outliner tab, and open the Cubes collection. Select any cube. Navigate to the Shade Editor window we minimized earlier, and drag it up to reveal our material nodes. In the Shade Editor menu, go to Add Texture, Image Texture. Connect the Color node to the Base Color node. Press Open on the Image Texture node window and locate your image in your computer, then choose Open Image. The image is now applied to all the cubes. Go back to the Outliner tab, and switch off all the collections apart from the Cubes collection. Make sure you are in object mode. Select the Cubes collection. Then press A to select all the cubes in the viewport. Press Tab to switch to the edit mode. Press U on your keyboard and choose Project from View Bounds. At this point, the image is now projected. Replay the animation a couple of times to preview the projection. Now, you might discover that the image is not projecting properly after every playback. This is a fault in the physics. If this happens, to fix this, all you need to do is to bake the dynamics. To do this, switch back to Object Mode. Go to the Viewport menu. Navigate to the Object tab, select Rigid Body. Then Bake to Keyframes. Specify the range of keyframes. You want to make sure that the end range is the frame where the cubes have stopped moving, which is where we are now. In my case it is frame 222. This action will make sure they will fall in exactly the same way when you replay the animation. Press OK to bake the keyframes and wait for the baking process. If you expand your timeline window, you will note that Blender has created keyframes as a result of the baking process. These keyframes are the falling action of the cubes and they go up to the frame you specified. This should fix our image if your image still isn't displaying properly. All you need to do is to scrub the playhead to the end keyframe you specified earlier, in my case 222, and project the image again the same way we did before baking. I will repeat the process again. Remember, only do this if the image is not showing properly after baking. Switch back to Edit Mode. Press A to select all the cubes again. They should have an orange color when they are selected. Now press New and choose Project from View Bounds. That's it, your image is now projected successfully. Replay the animation and you will find that it will not be distorted because we baked the rigid body dynamic. You can replace the image easily by just visiting the node window, deleting the image that's there. Choosing your replacement and the change will be updated automatically in the viewport. You don't need to project the image again or bake any dynamics. Good luck on your own dynamic texture. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions regarding this tutorial. Remember to like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more tutorials.